Just be yourself is one of the worst advices that you can ever hear when you're watching YouTube videos. And that is because it's not bad advice, but when you're starting off, you have no idea how to actually implement that advice or what that means. Because in practice, just be yourself really makes you think that you can just talk about whatever you want and you'll get a bunch of views because everyone just likes you for your magnetic, beautiful, and funny personality. But that's simply just not true, because you have to give value to your viewers first. And that is a lesson I just most recently learned as I made the past 2 videos, one of which I've already posted by the posting of this video, and another one that I'm currently working on. And I wanted to walk you through the lessons I learned while making those videos, because it centers around this idea of what just be yourself actually means in practice. Let's talk about titles and thumbnails, because the most fundamental aspect of being a YouTuber and being successful is marketing your video first, because if people don't click, they don't watch. And I had a terrible case of bad title syndrome when I was just making the past 2 videos that I thought were amazing. So let's talk about the first video. I made this video about the New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani and his first 100 days in office, but the original video didn't actually start like that. As you'll see in the title and thumbnail, why is he the only politician doing anything? Even if you don't care about him or even if you don't know who he is a far more interesting title than the one I came up with, which was "Your mayor matters more than the president." Because at first I thought it was a pretty interesting claim. I wanted to make something that sounded a lot like what YouTubers already made, like "Greed is destroying the world," or something that sums up the whole video into a nice bubble. But what that title fails to do is to create any real intrigue, and it also inserts no possibility of your own personal angle on it. I want you to walk through my headspace a bit, because I genuinely felt for the first 3 days I was making this video that "Your mayor matters more than the president" was such a strong video idea. And the reason why I came about it is because I wanted a video that followed my previous formula. The previous video I just made about Gen Z and boomers was really successful. I dove into a framework of Gen Z and boomers and how I can use a topical discussion at hand today and inject 4 key pieces of information mixed in with historical context and some powerful piece of civic engagement for people to watch and enjoy. But I found with making this video that it just didn't make sense. I was talking about 2 mayors that no one really cared about, and I could not make a thumbnail that just really made me interested in who these 2 guys were. I'm sure at some point in my career I can make a thumbnail about whatever I want and people will click on it, but I know I'm not at this stage, and the kind of person watching this is probably not at this stage either. So what you have to do is you have to tackle where the people are already at. And the fact of the matter is, I wanted to make this video about Mamdani, and I asked to the core of why that was, and I made this video about Mamdani because I truly asked myself, why is he the only politician doing anything? Like, why does it seem like, and there are plenty of other politicians doing stuff, but he is the most visible example of governance and local governance actually working for the people instead of just the billionaires that funded their campaigns. And this is the biggest takeaway. Just be yourself. That's what authenticity really is. When a true question pops up and you know that if you want to answer that question yourself, other people will want to seek out that answer as well. I wanted to move over to another example of the video I'm currently working on right now. As of filming this video, I just filmed my previous video about China, and the title of that China video is "Why America Can't Build Like China." Now, at first I was doubting and second guessing that video because I wasn't really too sure if it was a good title, but at the very least, and I still don't know if I have it all right, it's a lot better than "China kept its promises and America didn't." Again, I have to reframe it around this idea because I had already made the script by then, and I feel very strongly about this video, and I injected a lot of my personality more into this video. But in order to incorporate that, your title has to also reflect that. China kept its promises and America didn't doesn't set up any intrigue for the viewer other than something that we can already kind of intuit ourselves. Why America can't build like China, to me at least, in my opinion, because who knows if I have it all figured out yet, is that it's a question that I myself once again had as I was making this video. Because I scrolled through my Instagram feed and I saw that people are falling in love with China like crazy, and I wondered why that was. And ultimately, that question that I had about why is it that the case, that's the question I set out to answer. And I imagine that whatever videos you want to make are the kind of videos that you feel like you haven't seen yet. And that's the specific unique angle that you can take. The advice, "just be yourself," is one of the best advices you can be given, but without any direction of what that means, it just falls flat on its face. So let me put it into more succinct words. Just be yourself ultimately means finding your own interesting angle on what's already out there. Not post whatever you want and post a Minecraft video one day, a vlog another, and expect people to come in droves. Find where you are already interested in, and more importantly, find the questions that you have a deep burning desire to answer, and I promise people will find that. What I will say is this: the cost of me not being myself in earlier videos, such as the first 2 or 3 videos I made, was very clearly shown in the fact that I had an idea, something I wanted to say, but I didn't know how to match it along with my audience. I didn't have a burning question I answered. I wanted to seek information that made me feel better, that knowledge that made me feel more enlightened, without considering how the audience will actually receive it. Because I'm not here in this channel to tell you what to do like other creators would and spout it as professional advice, because a lot of them oftentimes, and what it feels like, is that their head is in the clouds and that they're speaking advice they can't exactly preach. So that's why in this video I'm not going to assert myself as the leading authority in the matter, but what I am telling you is the confidence of how I feel knowing that I had a revelation in how I improved my titles and thumbnails and how I created the message of just be yourself in my unique angle. And I know you can too. And if you want to follow my journey and see whether or not if my YouTube advice and also my wisdom as I go throughout actually means something, or if I'm doomed to stay under 1,000 subscribers forever. So stick around and see how that goes.